Today, people crave content that feels personal and real. And if you ask me, this thing here, the smartphone, is a big reason why. It's completely changed the way we create and consume content. But it didn't just make creating easier, it kind of reshaped what we value in the media.
Fancy cameras and polished productions aren't really the gold standard for a lot of people anymore. This thing here, the smartphone, or really any other cheap camera for that matter, kind of gets the job done for most of the content that we consume online. But how did we get to a point where this tool dominated the digital landscape?
In this video, we'll talk about the appeal of low quality content, how it evolved, and with the shift towards raw and relatable, does high production still have a place in the world? So it's obvious that the current state of media, at least for the younger generations, is dominated by social media and creators online instead of traditional cable shows like it's been in the past. Podcasts have overthrown radio, online streamers have replaced traditional live broadcasts, and anyone with a phone can post online and gain a massive following. But beyond just creating new media categories, what's most fascinating is the kind of content that these platforms have popularized. It's not polished or perfect, it's raw, real, and relatable. People aren't looking for the next big Hollywood production. They want to connect with a creator like if they're watching a friend. And no tool has allowed this more than the smartphone, which has shattered the barrier to entry for content creation. What's also changed is the speed and rate at which content is posted. Because it's easier to film, edit, and upload directly from a phone, creators can share ideas instantly with no need for a big production team or equipment. This has kind of reshaped our expectations. Viewers don't need super refined content to stay engaged and entertained. Today, whatever gets the point across is enough, because there's less on the line. A simple clip, casual video, or even a live stream from your phone can reach a big audience without a large investment or pressure of perfection. With social media leading the way, creators began trading perfection for authenticity, and audiences love it. But why? All right, so let's be real. While there are still plenty of communities out there like ours, the tech community, that geek over fancy equipment and the latest tech, in general though, it feels like simpler setups help break down the wall between the creator and the audience. One of the reasons, if you ask me, is because they're more relatable and more casual. But also the aesthetic of a video isn't always the most important thing. Other things like consistency are more beneficial to growing an audience. But more importantly, the content in the video or the actual information is way more important than anything else. On top of the content, the host or person presenting it has to either be entertaining, educational, or helpful, depending on the type of video you're searching for, For me though, whenever I bring out the fancy camera, the one I'm using to shoot this video, I felt like I had to produce a higher quality video, which isn't a bad thing, but it changed the way I approached creating it and writing a script for a video. I found myself chasing that high production style for my longer form videos instead of just trying to make the video more personal and human. I guess what I'm trying to say here is that while there's nothing wrong with fancy rigs, I'm still gonna use them for sure. Simpler setups strip away the production layer that sometimes can make content feel distant or overly polished. And when content feels more personal, it's just easier for the audience to trust the creator or connect with their message and just feel more like they're part of the journey. And it's not just about simpler setups or shorter videos. Entire content categories have exploded in popularity because they offer something different. These formats feel like a conversation, not a performance, which is exactly what audiences today are looking for. So how did this cultural shift happen, and why are these off-the-cuff formats dominating the digital landscape? And then, of course, there's live streaming, which in recent years has gotten very popular too. It's obvious that younger people want real connections and not a facade that hosts in traditional shows sometimes have to put on. But with all this focus on casual content, where does that leave high production? Are cinematic videos becoming obsolete in a world that values simplicity and authenticity? No, actually, definitely not. There's still a place for high quality production. I just think that it plays a different role in today's landscape. While it's true that many creators online still focus on high production, like cinematic style videos, there's been a noticeable shift even within these communities. The focus is no longer just on the visuals or the technical aspects. It's about the creator behind the content. These creators have built brands that are deeply personal, making their audience feel connected to the person as much as the content that they create. As a matter of fact, this personal touch has been a key element for their success. Even in highly polished productions online, at least, the creator's personality, their voice, and their perspective shines through, turning what might otherwise feel like a distant cinematic experience into something that feels relatable and engaging. General social media audiences might prefer relatability, but platforms like YouTube still have niches that value cinematic content. Certain audiences, like film enthusiasts and travel vloggers, demand higher production quality. So while there's still a place for high production content, it's no longer just about the visuals or storytelling techniques. It's about the human element as well. And this is what makes even the most polished content resonate in today's social media world. When we look at other platforms like Netflix or HBO though, we're in a whole different world. High production content there isn't just about connecting with an audience, it's about creating an experience. We've seen how the shift towards simpler, more relatable content has transformed the way we create and consume media. Smartphones and social media have made content creation accessible to anyone, and audiences are loving the raw, unpolished style. Even high production content has had to adapt, becoming a little bit more personal to resonate with today's viewers. But with corporations now catching on to this and adapting the style into their marketing and commercials, it begs the question, will we see history repeat itself? Think about it. Platforms like Netflix, which once revolutionized entertainment by removing ads and just making it easier to stream online, are now reintroducing ad-supported tiers. And now it just feels like we're slowly circling back to the TV cable experience, just on a new platform. So could the same thing happen with content creation? As brands and creators keep on adopting this raw and relatable style, will it lose its authenticity and take us back to where it all started? Is this just a phase, or is this new way of creating and consuming media here to stay? Or are we just gonna go back to that polished, curated media of the past? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.